Welcome to Chapter 1 of Human, the beginning of a journey into the depths of achieving photorealistic computer-generated portraits. As with any complex art form, there's numerous ways to achieve the end goal. This course is a detailed guide through my specific workflow. But before we get going, if you haven't already, please make sure to read through the course description on CG Cookie if you're a member, or the FAQ section of the Blender Market product page. There's important things discussed there, like the optional prerequisite courses, PC hardware specs, graphics tablets, what to do about the various versions of Blender you'll see through the course, including recommendations to ensure optimal learning, as well as how to decide what kind of head to do yourself. Please read through that before continuing. With that said, let's get back to the Chapter 1 workflow. We're going to start this whole portrait process by digitally sculpting the human head. Human facial structure is a challenge to achieve in general due to its complex organic anatomy, but it's extra challenging because our faces are socially foundational to our species. In other words, everyone is an expert when it comes to identifying an incorrect face, whether they're an artist or not, which significantly raises the standard for achieving correct facial structure. So the stakes for success are high, but the approach we take in Chapter 1 I think makes the goal as accessible as possible to all skill levels. The key is employing a step-by-step Loomis-inspired formula to sculpt a simplified planes of the head bust. The Loomis method is famous for teaching how to draw faces in 2D, and I've essentially translated the spirit of that method over to 3D. So long as you have basic experience with Blender Sculpt Mode, you should get along fine. If this is your first time opening Blender, I highly recommend watching the Blender Basics and Fundamentals of Digital Sculpting courses first. If you're not a CG Cookie member or you didn't buy the course bundle from the Blender Market, I think you'll be able to get along fine. Just be patient as you familiarize yourself with Blender, the tools, and the process. The second phase focuses on sculpting each facial feature individually: mouth, nose, eyes, ears, neck, and everything in between. This will leave us with a fully formed, anatomically correct head. The third and final phase of Chapter 1 explores facial contexts like age, weight, gender, and ethnicity. We'll start each context with our base man head and sculpt it into a given context as a shape key, which allows us to morph back and forth. This is both entertaining as well as informative for comparison. The last thing I want to say before we get started is this course is deep and wide, and I'm proud that it covers every step of the process thoroughly. But it's only half of what you need to succeed in this project. Success in learning advanced skills like this requires comprehensive educational content plus repeated practice. It's your responsibility to fulfill that second variable. So don't rush this. Take your time, practice each task more than once or as many times as you need, and that's how you will ensure your success. All right, I think that's enough introduction from me. Let's get started sculpting.